Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so in this video we're going to talk about moving our objects around in SketchUp, positioning them, rotating them, and also we'll talk about making groups and making components. So the first thing I'm going to do is just make a very simple shape that's going to be a brick, and it's going to be 30 centimeters by 20 centimeters. And I'm going to make it about 5 centimeters high. Okay, there's my simple brick. So the first thing we need to work out is how can we move things around. And to do that, you need to be able to select. So if I select this face, if I just click on it once, you can see that the blue dots appear on the face. And now when I click the move, the whole face moves. That's not really what we want. So what I can do is double click, and now you can see the lines around the edge have joined in as well. So now when I move, I get the same thing. And again, that's still not what I want. So what we need to be able to do is to triple click. And when we triple click, what happens is we've selected the whole shape. So triple clicking, 1, 2, 3, and then when I move my face around, I move the whole object around. Okay. And then the next thing we can do is we can rotate an object. So I'm going to click rotate. Now the way that the rotate works is we rotate around different axes. So if I want to rotate around the red axis or the x-axis, I need to move the rotate tool onto a face that points along the same way as the red. For green or for blue. And then what I can do is click on the corner, move the mouse to one of the edges, click again, and now I can rotate. Or I could click here, click there, and now rotate again. So to rotate, you just click on a point, click on another point, and then rotate around. Okay, so that's how you move and rotate a single object. Now what I'm going to do is Control C, Control V. So I've got to paste this object here. And what I want to do is use these bricks to make a wall. So I'm going to select Move. I'm going to click on one point. And the way that SketchUp works is that you move the mouse along the line that you want to get to. Okay, and then that just helps SketchUp work out where you want it to get to. So rather than trying to move it to some point here where it's quite difficult to get to, what I'm going to do is move it along the line to this bottom line. I move it along and then up and then along to there. And then when I click again, that puts that brick in exactly the right place. Okay, now let's say I want to move it again. So the brick is still selected. I'm going to click on the 4 arrows. I'm going to click on this point here. Now, when I move it again, what's happened is the SketchUp has merged all of these shapes together, which is really not what we want to do. So we have two options. We can either make this brick into a group or we can make it into a component. And let me show you the difference. So the first thing I'm going to do is make it into a group. So I'm going to triple click to select the whole thing. I'm going to right click. I'm going to make group. Okay. Now when I move things around, so up to that point, and then to there. Okay. When I click, oops, clicked again. Just put it there. Okay, so when I click again now, you can see that it automatically selects the whole shape. And now when I move, I'm not connected to this other second brick. Okay, so it doesn't stick anymore. So now I can place this brick independently wherever I like. Okay, so the first way to keep the shape separate is to make them into groups. Now the second way to make them separate is to make it into a component. So I've got the two groups, I've got the two components, two bricks, sorry. Now I'm going to double click the shape. I'm going to right click and make a component. It asks me for a name and I'm going to call it a brick. Okay. Now if I click on components, you can see that there's my brick there. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, first of all, I'm going to move this one to there. Now I'm just going to click on that brick there and it brings out another brick. And then I'm going to line up that corner with that corner there, and I'm just going to make a quick wall. Just by clicking and dragging. Okay. So we could do this, the same thing by making into a group. So what's the difference with a brick? What's the difference with a component? So what I can do is take one of these bricks, double click it, and because it's a component, it's now entered into this component editing mode. And if I change the brick, so let's say for instance, I think bricks should probably have a hole in the middle. And I'm just going to push and pull that down to there. Okay, so you can see that when I've edited one brick, I just click out. Once I've edited one brick, I've edited all of the components. Okay, so that's the difference between groups and components. Groups will keep things separate so you can move them around. Components will basically make a linked copy so that when you change one of them, you change all of them. And that can be really useful if you've got things like wheels on a car and you need to change one wheel on the car and then have that change reflected, then use a component. Okay, I hope that was helpful. Looking forward to see what you make. Take care now.